This is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and we are with Naisiae Naadokila. She's reminded me that it's Naisiae Naadokila and not Naadokila. Karibu sana Naisiae, tuko chini ya mti. It's very nice to have you today, Friday, usiku. Such an honor.
Such a great honor as well to have me on a Friday night. Right now I'll be asleep. Kumbe there are other important things I could do.
Karibu Kenya.
Thank you.
Ulikuwa umeenda wapi? Nilikuwa naona tu watu wa ndege.
I went to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mambo tu ya kazi.
Kazi gani?
I do a lot of things.
Tutafikia hapo.
Mm-hmm.
Mzaliwa Narok. Tueleze. Umezaliwa wapi? Umelelewa wapi? Just a little bit about your background because people are wondering, who is this?
Is this going to be about me? Okay, my name is Nice. Okay, Naisiae. Nicknamed as Nice, popularly known as Naisiae Naadokila.
Mm-hmm.
I am a daughter of the Naadokila family, Ilukumai, who live in Narok East, a place called Ololdapash in Susa.
Mm-hmm.
I was born and raised there, studied in Kenya, and a little bit in Rwanda, came back home, and working in Kenya. Yes, and with so much energy and passion for community service, I've done community service for like three years. So, and my dreams are aligned with that. And yeah, so that's me. And sometimes I sing and dance.
I've seen your songs.
Mm-hmm.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Before we get into the issue of Olkiombo, because I think everything ties to each other. You were raised in Narok, went to school in Narok, I assume, as you said in Kenya. Why does this matter? Why is this so important to you?
First of all, things that concern me are very important. And me is a Maasai from Narok. And me is a person who has so much passion for community service, and a person who loves justice and fairness, transparency, accountability, especially in public service.
Okay.
And I really hate when injustices happen, especially to my people, because my people is me. So anything that would hurt public interest would hurt me, and I feel like my heart is aligned or has been shaped to be that kind of heart that hates the public being taken advantage of or being mistreated,
yeah,
and all those things. Yeah, so I think heart that hates the greatest motivation.
I'm asking that because with all the advocacy that I've seen your work on Twitter, I've seen your work on Facebook, I've seen your work on TikTok, on social media. I've also seen you on ground, and you made some song.
So you've seen me so many times.
I am just seeing your activity on social media, and I said, you know what, okay. we have to talk.
Yeah.
You said justice is key to you and your being, and also you being born in the soil. It really matters to you. You're talking about the public. Does it affect you personally?
Yeah, it does, because for instance, the case at hand right now, Olkiombo land issue, this is a place that gives the county government like 1 billion Kenya shillings per year. I mean, like some counties don't even have a revenue of 1 billion.
That's 1,000 millions.
Yes, 1,000 millions of Kenya shillings.
It's a lot of money.
And then it's rightfully community land inside the reserve. and somebody is trying to steal it illegally, if you legally took the land from the place, and the law gives you the authority or the ownership of it, you will feel bad that somebody has 5,000 acres alone, and life goes on. But illegally, and it's such a priceless, or it's such a valuable piece of land, and I'm imagining 1 billion, the county revenue or expenditure minus 1 billion. Priceless, that's crazy money, or it's such that we are losing. A lot of people are going to lose jobs. Personally, I know people who work there.
Okay.
I know the magnitude of impact that place has to women, especially because Olkiombo is a very famous place in Masai Mara, and is one of the biggest. Actually, I think it's the biggest and oldest airstrip in the Masai Mara, and women go there to sell their beadwork and all that. Women from all the way from Mararianda, Siana, Lemek, Talek, Sekenani, they go all the way up there because they know like their income is guaranteed when they go there. Plus everybody who works there, and furthermore the wildlife, the importance of that area to wildlife. It's a breeding zone. A lot of very important breeds, and the conservationist in me feels bad that the habitat of this wildlife is going to be privatized. And the harms of privatization. This person, if you own the land and it's under your name, you can do whatever you want. He could build a city in that 5 acres and 5k acres, and you wouldn't do anything. It is his land. So I'm like, okay, you take the land, and then what happens to this wildlife? What happens to these women? What happens to everybody who works there? What happens to our revenue as the county? We lose 1 billion and more, because if he wins, we're going to give him over 20 billion as compensation, So that is why I'm pushed like to participate in this, because I've seen the land is rightfully for the community, and they're getting a lot of benefits from it.
Okay. But this land does not, because you're going to delve into the case a little bit, and it's still in court. So, but we'll still discuss it looking at the context of everything that is there right now. This land has a history, and I'll just break it down from the 1900s, where we had treaties when reserves were carved out and early conservation came into being, with the Naisiae agreements of 1904 and 1911 during the colonial times, the colonial treaties, the 1920s to the 1950s, where there was, the game control era, where colonial wildlife policies restricted, hunting and use of grazing patterns, became restricted at this time. And then in the 1960s to 1979, with the creation of the Masai Mara and Group Ranch, that era, where the Mara Game Reserve was gazetted in 1961, 1963, there was independence. Late 1960s to 1970s, where group ranches were registered. And then the 80s to 1999, where subdivision pressures, boundary ambiguities became quite rife. Group ranch subdivision began between 1976 and 1989, where wildlife acts on a national context were being worked on. And then in the 1990s, also the expansion of camps and lodges around Olkiombo. Remember that this is when now really tourism began to become something that is recognizable in the Mara. And from from early 2000s to 2009, conservancies where conservancy models scaled up in Masai Mara, from Mara North, Olare, Olaro Rock, Motorogi, And Naboisho, utaniambia kama hizi zote ziko accurate because I was just doing some research. 2000 to 2010, where there was legal and administrative flashpoints near Olkiombo, where petitions against camps for inadequate permits were seen, and also disputes over camp sightings began, where the reserve boundaries were being verified, and lots of questions involving also NEMA, EIA, the registry, and Narok legal files. Now this became rife. 2010, there was a new constitution where there was the devolved governments, where Narok County government took charge of the reserve management and fee collection. And then the community began demanding a stronger revenue sharing model. And in 2013, there was the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act, which introduces community wildlife associations, benefit sharing frameworks, and compensation schemes. Then the Community Land Act, which is now what stands, which provides a pathway to register community land outside titled or private parcels. And the Olkiombo context, this was a reserve core and edge, and it became a key legal tool requiring complex adjudication. So there's this slow uptake and disputes that we've seen. We've seen the cases in 2017, 2018, and stretching back to 2002 with this case, we still see lots of complexities, people dropping off, and community almost standing on its own. So just having this context, knowing that, we had the pandemic, there was drought, and there was, lots of things that derailed this case as well. Where do we stand now? Well, it looks like we've lost Naisiae, but all right, she's back. All right. Yeah. Where do we stand now? The context has been long from the 50s. Forgive me.
Yeah, it's been, yeah. So this is a long story. And we've made several videos explaining where this issue came from.
Yeah.
We just started recently. 1997, 2000, that's when it started.
Yeah.
And I think our videos have explained a lot about this case.
Yeah.
So
maybe we should just direct people, go watch.
Yes.
We'll
they
discuss.
Should go and watch on my TikTok and my Facebook, and also a website that we came up with. If you type on your Google or browser, you just type Olkiombo or Save Olkiombo. That website will be the first to pop up. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll find articles. You'll find videos about this issue.
Okay.
And then you'll see how far this thing has been. Like, it's been a long overdue thing. It's been there for years. A lot of people have been involved. And so, like, we are just the recent new signings into this case.
What do you mean by we?
We, I mean the people that are part of. Like, for me, we started off as a team of 5.
Okay.
And then other people came in as there were different teams, like the teams being led by this guy of Resolute Rise. He's a CBO.
Yeah.
There's another team, university students, youth leaders. So it was like different groups indulging in this case. So that's what I'm saying, like, we are the new signings.
Okay. Before we delve into a journey into this case, because we want to understand why does it matter, I see that mostly it's young people who are involved. And I'm wondering, where are the older people?
They're there, but a few. Because we see older people like Ololdapash, the former Senate aspirant. He's been involved. He's been involved from Kitambo and even now. But then there is the MP Naroquest, Oletongoyo. There is and several MCAs in the county assembly.
Yeah.
But I think like right now we are the face of these things because you are the ones who are being seen. You know, and everything when there are new things and all things, the new things tend to be seen more than the old ones. So because we are new faces in this case, and maybe we have more impact because of social media. You know, all people are not on social media and all that, or maybe because we have a huge following.
Yeah.
That's why like we stood out. But old people are here and they're involved.
And I see more are involved online. Someone called Melvin is saying tuned up from Nakuru. Elvis Kelvin says Mutenkaur live. Clemian Thaddeus saying following from Arusha, Tanzania. Keep the comments coming and keep them respectful. So, your journey, Olkiombo.
Yes.
From my understanding, this land is not personal land per se because it's been managed by the county for now. It should be administered by the county or held by the county. So they're supposed to be collecting the revenues from the National Reserve. And the big question on many people's minds is, why does it matter so much yet? Is the county collecting this revenue? If you just walk us, through why this really matters to you, because it's a little bit ironical that the county government is the one who's holding custody of this land, and people are still complaining, yet the land is being held on their behalf.
Okay, so this is how it is as per now. Of course, the county government has been the custodian of this land since the beginning. It was the county council which changed to the county government. They are the custodians of public land. They are the custodians of the National Reserve. And from the beginning of these issues, they have been the custodians. And that's why this case has been long and it has taken too many years, because they went to court, to the highest levels of court. Sometimes the land grabber won and it was appealed. Many times the county council won and it was appealed. That's why, but all through, the county government was the custodian of this land. Like the person who is claiming this land has never had a finger or a hand in. I've never had a hand in this, yeah, including revenue collection and anything to do with it. And until recently, in 2022 and 2023, 2023 is when this case started anew, because the last appeal that was made by the county government during the previous era upheld county government ownership. And then it was like, go back to your land court and revoke the title deed, because land belongs to the county government. And this guy who's claiming this land has an illegal title deed, so you go and revoke it. So it was like a new case, but on a different thing. It's not now about ownership. It's about the title deed. And in 2018 is when that ruling was made. And so the person who was supposed to be involved in this case was reluctant in participating. Court proceedings, times come, and he's not availing himself or his team. He makes excuses, and the case was delayed. And then it was picked up when the new government came in. And when the new government came in, it's been how many years now? 3 years?
Yes, almost to the 3 years, yes.
And the ruling has been made.
Yeah.
And the ownership of this guy has been upheld.
Okay.
Even after being revoked by the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And for the first time, this guy who is claiming this land has been given mandate to collect revenue.
I'll take you back because you had said it stopped being ownership, it became a title deed issue.
Yes. It was like
help me understand.
Okay, the ownership now, the Supreme Court said this land belongs to the county government. It belongs to the National Reserve.
Yes.
So the title deed that this guy obtained, that he's using to claim that this land is his, is illegal. So go back to your land court and revoke it. That was the order.
To the county government.
Yes. You
Okay.
come back to your county court, land court, and revoke the title deed.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't happen. So in 2022, the case was picked up, and the case was okay, ilipelekwa and all that. Until recently, in March, that is where this case really erupted and the public was so much interested. I think even that's when personally I began being interested in March this year, that I didn't talk. Because when the ruling was made, the ruling said that this guy is the rightful owner of this land, and the county government should allow him to collect revenue because it's his.
Yeah.
And what else was made there? And then now it had a lot of public uproar, and then the governor made a public statement about this. Oh, we will not allow this land to go. We will make an appeal on the judgment made, and we are going to fight to bring back the land.
Yeah.
So they filed an appeal. Successfully, it reflected, but unfortunately, they didn't challenge the order of collecting revenue, right? So this guy was allowed to collect revenue. Okay, you go ahead and collect revenue. The court has said the land is yours. Go ahead and collect revenue.
That's interesting. So an individual can actually collect revenue.
Yes, and that's what the court said. So for us, we know, because it was not challenged, this guy has been collecting revenue.
Okay.
For the very first time, because even in the other case, I think he won once. And when you see actually the basis of him winning that was like, you could see that everybody who was involved in that case was compromised. And now, after now, the governor, made the public press that the case has been appealed. And then now we gained interest, like, what's going on with this case? Like, why is it like everybody is, concerned? So we also became concerned and read documents about this case, where it started. And then on the process of reading, you realize how our people were played, like from the beginning.
Okay.
Including getting that title deed, carving out that area. Everybody was played. Everybody was compromised. Yeah. And that thing angered me.
Yeah.
Like, I could see, like, this is so wrong, and you're doing it in broad daylight, and you're compromising people, and people are allowing to be compromised.
Yeah.
Then now, that's when I indulged myself into this case, and made the public video about this case, explaining what happened. And then what really pained me the most, like, historically in this case, the county government has never, or the court has never given this guy mandate to collect revenue. So why now? Why are you collecting revenue now? And even in the argument, and now I want to read the judgment.
Okay.
That gave this guy mandate to collect revenue.
Okay.
You try to read the person who is claiming that his argument.
Yep.
And this is substantive. You read the county government's arguments. Oh my God, they are so weak, like openly weak. Because like you take a witness to court, and you're trying to defend yourself, but the witness saying, I don't know. So what is the essence of taking that person to testify in court if they don't know? So they were just laying ground for this person to win. And that spark a lot of questions and concern. And of course, like, thought that maybe the county government is laying ground for the person to win or to take the land. And that's when we came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can I stop there maybe?
Yes, it's quite interesting because many of these people are saying, why are you fighting for this land, yet it's not your relatives' land, it's not your parents' land, it's not your land. And of course, you had talked about it being a source of revenue. You mentioned 1 billion Kenya shillings annually. For those who do not understand, where does this money come from? I would assume that a piece of land would probably not bear 1 billion Kenya shillings a month.
Of course, people are saying, and I understand. Okay, people are saying, why are you fighting for land that you're not even part of? Sometimes I tend to accept that maybe people don't understand things or didn't understand the value of this land or how it impacts them, and that's why they're saying. On the other hand, I thought maybe it's politics. When we fight for this land, they say we are fighting the county government. So pro-government people question us or fight us back because they think we are fighting the county government, and that's allowed. And we give room for everybody to think the way they want. Yeah. But we really want to urge people to see the importance of this land to them, not only the Mara people or something like that. And if they try to compare Olkiombo and any other land, let's say the one being mentioned a lot is Kidong because iko kwetu. And what is the value of what is the value of Kidong? Yeah, it has value because it was grazing lands for us.
I think Kidong also has some historical aspect to the Maasai.
And it's been long overdue. Yeah. So, and then Kidong, it was just like for the Narokist people or what was Suswa or something like that. And unfortunately, it happened when we were not like old enough to understand things. And as we speak now, title deeds have been given out. I think 6,000 acres of the land in dispute in Kidong was given to the community, and some other part was fenced for, I don't know, a dry pool. I don't know what it was. I'm not sure about it. So you see the complexity of it. Like, why should I go and talk about something that has already happened? It's past. Somebody already took that. Okay, somebody already has a title deed in that place, and it's been there even as old. Even it's old than Olkiombo land issue. And here's Olkiombo, because if we lose 1 billion as a county, the revenue serves 6 constituencies. So it means -1 for Narok East, Narok North, Narok West, Emurua Dikir, Narok North, Kilgoris, or Transmara. Like it's a minus for all of us, right?
Yeah.
So like that's like, and that's the importance of this case to everybody who lives in Narok.
I've always wondered how, because if that's 1 billion from just one single piece of land, and I'm assuming that also this goes to the national level, so it affects us as well. If this happens in just that small piece of land that will say 4,000 acres, then considering the larger Mara, it's actually quite a lot of money that goes to Narok, I'd assume.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised by the attitude of the county government towards this, being the custodians of this land and also allowing someone to collect money that would have come to the community as they pursue this case, and you say that it's not strong enough. My assumption here is that the county would definitely be indebted to the people of Narok, to get more resources to the people to the ground as well.
Yeah.
One thing that has come up, and I'm asking you, is conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
I will not delve much deep into that, but I would like you to talk about it. I know it's a thorn in the flesh for those who've not had a chance to hear.
So the conflict of interest comes in the ruling or the arguments. Okay. So you see the submissions being made by the county government. They are deliberately very weak. Because if you're carrying the interest of the whole county, why should you take somebody who doesn't know about this case to be a witness? Yet, you have the power, authority, or a potential to get a witness. Or at least take somebody who knows something. How do you testify in court that you don't know? Like, it would have been better if you didn't go at all. Secondly, that shows like, okay, they were deliberately being weak. Secondly, when the judgment was made and this guy was allowed to collect the fee, the county didn't challenge. I
Okay.
mean, like, as the county government, okay, officials now, your interest is the public. So if you lose 1 billion you lose 1 billion from your revenue,
Yeah.
then it should be a concern because now you're in there in the name of the people. That raised eyebrows. Secondly, when other people of goodwill tried to join the case, okay, they said, okay, the county government is being weak on this, and I think you stand a chance of being party in this case, and also go and argue,
Yeah.
in the place of the public. Now they are carrying like the public interest, and you try to block them. The county secretary wrote a letter to the court trying to block these people from being part of the case, saying this case has no public interest. And I'm wondering why. This case has public interest because 1 billion is for public.
Yeah.
And then you have the guts to write an email saying it doesn't have any public interest. And even like the public uproar on social media and everybody already shows it has public interest. It's not only like, this is not the first time there's public uproar. There's even times when Olkiombo was burnt down because of public, uproar and all that. So they wrote that letter, which raised eyebrows. And secondly, they're not being open about the appeal. We don't know what's in the appeal. What are you appealing? Because for an appeal, you appeal a judgment. Like, I'm appealing this judgment. I'm appealing judgment number 1, number 2, number 3, or the whole of it. We don't know the content of their judgment, and they're not ready to provide.
But who provides?
The county government. So they're not doing that. And that now, of course, somebody with a sane mind will say, of course, there's a conflict of interest. And there was a video that was made by the former Attorney General. He really talked about this land and said the way government officials are involved and all that.
Yeah.
And of course, that also raises eyebrows and makes us think, oh yeah, this is true. So somebody is trying to favor somebody in this case.
9 people were involved in this case. I'm told 8 dropped. Or was it 9? What followed?
There's a lot of people who are involved. What do you mean 9? Like the
in
council
court,
of...
as the what do you call them?
Pardon?
I don't know what you call them in court terms. Was it witnesses?
There
appellants?
There were 9, a group of 9 elders who were part of the appeal. And then they dropped. They dropped the case. Like, we no longer have interest in this case. But they didn't give reasons. They just like, I'm tired of this case. I'm gonna chuck. And they left.
Okay. Yeah,
so, I mean, and even when you read documents from the beginning and hear stories, you know, rumors have an origin. You hear stories, people were paid, they were given something to keep quiet, officials were compromised and all that. So it's been like that.
What next?
After what?
Now that the case is still in court.
The case is still in court. The county has appealed, but unfortunately and fortunately, on the person claiming the land is collecting revenue.
Yeah.
We don't know how. Because the county government did challenge the orders. And on our side, fortunately, the CBO that had public interest have been enjoined in this case as an appellant.
Okay.
So the county government is appealing, the CBO is appealing. So there are two appellants, two arguments. Fortunately, it was their appeal was submitted on 13th of August.
Okay.
And the case is going to be heard on October, a date in October.
Okay.
And the appeal, the content of the appeal of the CBO is publicly available. People can see what was appealed. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is where our hopes are right now.
Okay.
That we have, and at least this CBO has gathered substantive evidence on this case, and we also playing our part in trying to help get the evidence on this issue. And that is where our hopes are right now. Our hopes are really high that in the court of appeal we are going to win, because we have all the grounds. Unless I don't know, but we have very high hopes, and we believe it's going to come back.
Clamian Thadia says, we are so proud of this dedicated group of young people who all come together to advocate and fight for their community land. And then the famous hashtag Melo Olkiombo ends the statement. There's this gentleman from Masai Mara. He's an elderly man, I would say. At least he would qualify to be a father. Ololdapash. He's coming out strong. And there's this hotel. Has a Ritz inside. People are not. I think there are many cases going on at the same time, because there's this hotel that is making headlines, at least outside Kenya. It's sending shockwaves, and then we still have Olkiombo. How do this merge, and how are you working with these people? Is it the same thing?
There are two cases. There are two different cases. Our Olkiombo issue is different from that. And I think Ololdapash for now is the only one who's been working on that, because there's a lot that happens that we do not see. So we thank God he saw that.
Yeah.
And he made a move on it.
Yeah.
And it's gaining
Sorry, I think we are losing you, Naisiae. Okay, as we wait for her to come back, I think we've lost her a little bit. All right, I think she's... Sorry, I think...
including the management of the park and all that. So it really narrows down to the kind of leadership we like. So I don't know. Masai is the pride of Narok. He's the heart of Narok. Like 50% of Narok.
Sorry, Naisiae, we are losing you a little bit. I think we'll take a very short break, come back, and work on bringing this to a close. So short breakfast. We'll be back.
We gather here to speak, to remember, to question, to build. Just stories in the shade, truth in every tongue, and courage passed hand to hand. This is where the elders spoke. This is where the rebels whispered. This is where dreamers still return. It's the people's tree. From your hearts to the microphones on your devices, this is Chini ya Mti. Under the tree.
All right, welcome back again. This is Chini ya Mti. Today we are with Naisiae Naadokila, all the way from Narok, discussing Olkiombo land. One distinction has been made that there are actually two cases which are different, that people have been confusing. And I see different comments coming in. I see Leon John, Melvin Samburu saying tuned up from Nakuru, Kolian stage. Elvis Kelvin saying Muten Kaur. Elvis Clamian Didas says, following from Arusha, Tanzania, also says, you're so proud of this dedicated group of young people who came together to advocate for and fight for their community land. Such a good comment to read. Naisiae is back. I'm not very sure if the internet is now stable, but we'll give it a try. Are you there?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. But I think it's still sluggish. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. How about now?
Not yet. It's still hanging. Meanwhile, for you who's watching, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Please leave your comment. And when you leave your comment, it's going to appear on the screen. Tukisonga Mbele. Naisiae is now back. You are talking about two different cases.
Yes.
Break it down for us.
So these are two different cases. Olkiombo may explain and what is happening right now.
Okay.
Okay. I'm one person who believes in tackling one thing at a time. Especially now that this is really.
Oh no. Okay. The ball is on to us as we try to fix Naisiae's connection. Keep the comments coming. Tukingoja Naisiae. He can hear you. Keep the comments coming.
Do you see me?
We can see you.
Yes?
Yes.
So, these are two cases. And the one of the camp, the claims are that they constructed a camp in a wildlife corridor, like the wild beast.
For the camp.
Like the camp where the wild beast migrate. That's where they built the camp. And that is the question now. That's what's being questioned.
And that's a different case from Olkiombo.
The other accusation was they didn't provide environmental impact assessment. They just say, okay, the NEMA gave us a permit, the county government did. So maybe, and then when they are asked to provide these documents, they do not do that. So it shows even the authorities, the national government and the national government and county government authorities were compromised. So it's a different case from this one. And maybe that's why you're not seeing me making noise about it.
Yeah.
Because we deal at one thing at a time. And especially now that there's somebody who knows that thing much better than us and is actively involved, then that's offloads that. There's no need of me going to indulge there while there's an expert inside there. Okay. So we drive this together.
You said Melo Olkiombo, it's a hashtag that you've been pushing on social media. And I would just like us to maybe delve into that as we bring this to a close. When you say Melo Olkiombo, in Maasai, in English it translates to Olkiombo will not go. And I would like a distinction here.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the hands of the county government. So what's the risk here? Is it going to be
Kunini's land?
Personal?
Tutu is the one who's grabbing the land. So it won't go to him. That is the hashtag.
Okay.
Yep.
Young people, especially who we're seeing on social media, plus of course the ones who we don't get to hear or see, those who've not gone to the media, a word for them regarding this. Because the thing is, this case could go both sides or any of those sides. But we've seen these cases, as you've mentioned, land that the Maasai people feel like it was theirs rightfully, but they've lost it. We talked about Kedong, we have Olkiombo now. The other day we had guys from Ngorongoro, and those are just a few. We've seen conflicts also here in Kajiado. What's your word to especially young people regarding land?
We have the power, we have the energy, and we have all we need around us to stop land injustices. And everybody is capable of running a campaign against land injustices. I could be running or Olkiombo campaign. You could be running one from your side. Like an example, there's a team of young people from Loita. They have been rallying behind, they have been making campaigns against land injustices in the adjudication of in a place called Olmesuti. And if they are running the show themselves, it has come online and all that without us. Like, it's a different group of young people doing that. Even for you can start. If there's land injustices in your place, start. Gather up a team, mobilize people of similar interest, and maybe speak to other people like who have the same interest. You could reach out to us, we could make noise around it and all that, because one person cannot tackle everything. And if everybody plays their part, I believe like we are going to solve this issue. And I understand that there are some lands that we cannot return. Kama Kidong is gone and gone. We cannot return Kidong because it's gone. But there are new land injustices happening all over. There's no constituency in Narok County that doesn't have land injustices issues. And a lot of people, maybe people will ask me, why are you not talking about land injustices in Narok North or where? I cannot be everywhere. I'm a human being. Like, I'm not a superhuman who can deal with many things at a time. Just one thing at a time. And because I've chosen or I've found myself in this case, maybe you can also start, if there are land injustices in your place, lead other young people to go against land injustices, because there are new cases all the time. Kama here in Narok North, there's the Limanet issue, there's the Mau Forest issue, Purkol Trust Land. In Emurwadigir, there's everywhere. There's no county the constituency that doesn't have land injustices. And now what I urge us to do, let's not be a generation that our children will come to blame that we didn't play our part in safeguarding land for them. Let's stand up, because we have all the resources, we have everything it takes to return back land. So that's my motivation. It's possible. Here at Olkiombo, we are doing it and we see light at the end of the tunnel. It is very possible. Yes, and to everybody, to maybe young people who are being compromised or who are being advised otherwise, or being influenced to join the grabbers, I may say, I want you to think in this way. Like, if these people grab this land because it's individuals, it's never a group or something, what is your share? What is your share of that land? Let's say like this person Livingstone Oletutu takes 5,000 acres, and you're here heckling us, saying bad things against us. What if he takes? Are you going to have an acre there? You'll also be part of the losers who lose 1 billion. You get it? So I really want to urge us not to be people who are easily influenced or compromised, but let's be people who stand with the truth and justice, because we are the most learned generation, and our future generations will really blame us if we don't use our knowledge, our empowerment to protect their future. We might not do for ourselves. Maybe these land cases will take years and years and we might never benefit from it. But what if our children find this land? They're the ones who are going to benefit. And what if they don't? They will blame us. So let's not take the blame. Yes.
What a speech. Swela Lemaron says, following from Loita, some descending voice. I always remember that they pop up on the screen as well. Silas Kaleke says he's not sincere at all. You expect that as well. Yeah. I think some of the things that you've said are very important, that whichever side this lies, I think we all have the responsibility to, play our part.
Yeah.
And I think this mentality of saying something is mine is really affecting these young people, rather than, yes, I benefit from it, you also benefit from it. It's a public amenity. We've seen this in especially places where I would say greed also, was very evident when people are dividing land, and there are problems where some of the towns are not well planned. Few people have most of the land, and there are injustices that are breaking apart communities, families, and the entire system is completely, imbalanced. Then you see crime rates going up, and all sorts of injustices are continuing to go on. So I think it's important that we speak about these things, that we air them out, that we speak our hearts out. And with this era of with social media and technology, I think these things are possible. I would like to close that at that, unless you have something else to say.
No, I don't have anything to say. I'm actually very sleepy. But we can always have such conversations on these issues and more important ones. I'm always available, and I invite every other young person to also come forward and speak about important issues. These are platforms we create for ourselves, for our people. And I believe we are going to be a really impactful generation. Now, and those people and everybody should join us against on the fight of Olkiombo. If it returns, oh my God, it's going to be, let's say, a win of the century.
It's going to be a win of the century. I think it goes both ways. So I would say, kwaheri for now. My name is Jeremiah Kipaino. Today with with Naisiae Naadokila. Kwaheri for now. Kwaheri for now. I'll see you when I see you. Asante sana. Remember, like that page, comment, subscribe wherever you see this. And I'll see you in the next one.
We gather here to speak, to remember, to question, to build. Just stories in the shade, truth in every tongue, and courage passed hand to hand. This is where the elders spoke. This is where the rebels whispered. This is where dreamers still return. It's the people's tree. From your hearts to the microphones on your devices, this is Chini ya Mti. Under the tree.